Hey Bernie, my name is Mark Devlin. I'm the owner and also the master coffee roaster for Higher Grounds Coffee Company. Hey, a person you might know has asked us to roast you up some really special coffee from Africa. This particular person knows a lot about your coffee drinking habits, so he says that you just love African coffee and you like it a little bit on the bold side. Actually, that person is Bernie Jr. and he's wishing you a very happy birthday. It will be belated birthday because it was yesterday, so I'm wishing you a happy birthday as well. So let me tell you a little bit about the coffee that we're roasting up for you. It's a Kenyan AA and it's an Ethiopian Yirgacheffe. Probably two of the finest coffee beans that you could buy on the planet. There's things like Blue Mountain coffee, there's Kona, there's Kopi Luwak, there's a lot more expensive coffee, there's Panamanian Esmeralda. But of all the coffees that are out there, those are my two favorites, is Kenyan and Ethiopian Yirgacheffe. So great choice by Bernie Jr. But a little bit about the coffee. What is Kenyan AA? Well, AA is actually the screen size by which they measure the quality of the bean. So the larger the pit of because coffee is the pit of a cherry, the larger that pit of the cherry, the more apt that cherry was ripe when they picked it off the bush, because everything is hand-picked. So when they screen those, when they actually process those cherries in the pits, they actually, what they do is they come out with the actual coffee bean and they run it through screens. And the AA is the largest screen that you can get. And essentially only the largest beans are caught up in that screening technique, so thus they're probably the most ripe. And you know what? I've had AB and I've had BB and I've had odd lots, and I'll tell you, you can actually taste the difference with Kenyan AA, and that's the reason it's a little bit on the pricey side, but well worth the money. Now, the Ethiopian Yirgacheffe is probably one of the finest coffees in the world. The Yirgacheffe, the Ethiopia actually has, in the last few years, have gone to more of a co-op in which they bring their beans to this co-op. The co-op, on behalf of the individual farmers, will sell the coffee. What's great about the co-ops is it has great quality assurance. So we know that we're getting double pick Ethiopian Yirgacheffe, which is a fine coffee. So let me tell you a little bit about the roasting process. Behind me you see 3 micro roasters. They're 1 to 2 pound roasters, but they're called air roasters. I personally like air roaster versus a gas barrel roaster because it gives it a softer roast versus that hard burned roast. So I can bring it up pretty bold and it won't have that real burnt flavor. So essentially this is the clear roasting chamber, and as you can see, it's perforated on the bottom. That allows the air, the superheated air, to come up through the bottom of the actual craft, where eventually the green beans are going to sit, and it agitates the beans while it cooks it at about 550 degrees. On top of this is what they call a chaff collector, and essentially it sits on top here, and you'll see when I put it all together. What this allows us to do is, this is a screen on top and a little chaff collector here, is that as the coffee bean is beginning to roast, it sheds a skin, very much like a peanut skin. That stuff you don't want in your coffee in the final product, so it's caught up into this container in here and it doesn't end up in your beans. So I've taken the liberty of already measuring out 2 pounds of the Ethiopian Yirgacheffe. I'm actually putting it into the clear chamber, you can see here. Now when this is done, this is actually going to be about this high. With beans. So beans, when they're roasted, they lose about 20% of their weight, and they actually gain about 40% in size. So I'm going to put that here. This is your Ethiopian Yirgacheffe, and this is your Kenyan AA over here. I'm going to set it. It's got a little PLC on the side there. Set this one. Little PLC on the side there, and they're off to the races. So here in about 20 minutes, they'll be all finished, all roasted up. We'll package it, deliver it to Bernie, and I'm Bernie Jr. And I'm sure he's gonna deliver it with pride. Again, Bernie, happy birthday and enjoy your African coffee.